and welcome to another edition of Little Antique Me. Today I have a little something special. I was interviewed by a fabulous Instagram account. And they contacted me because they really loved my hats. They loved the style of them, and they asked if they could interview me for their hat challenge week. So here I am with my interview. I thought for this interview it would be fun to display some of my hats that I have, very select few of them. So with each question, I'm hopeful to swap hats for you. So let's get started with this lovely number. This one I actually picked up at an antique store. All right, number 1. Tell me about yourself. You are a beautiful wife and mother of 2, and you also work as a teacher. That's correct. That's all correct. Me, I love God. I love my family. I love my friends. I am blessed to have so many of my family and friends near me. They are loving and kind, and God truly has blessed me with a ton. I am a very people person, so the more the merrier in my books. Question number 2. And another lovely hat. This one was given to me by an amazing family friend of mine. It was their grandma's. They all dressed up in it, and so now I have the privilege of wearing it as an actual hat. All right, next question. When did you understand that vintage is part of your personality? Vintage has always been a part of my personality. Ever since I was little, I've always been intrigued by history and fashion and art and the history of it. My grandma, when I was a kid, introduced me to Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly and, goodness, you know, all the greats, Lucille Ball, all of them. And I just fell in love with their classy style and their elegance. And I don't think I actually started wearing vintage or wanting to wear vintage until later, but I loved dressing up in it. Next question. Are there any constraints that I have encountered when you started to, I'll start again. Are there any constraints that you've encountered when you decided to change your style? How people who surround you reacted to your changes? Constraints. Not really many constraints. I'm the chameleon when it comes to style and clothes and hair. So a lot of mine just kind of, it's changed normally for me. As far as how people around me react, a lot of my friends are so used to me changing my hair and makeup and clothes so often that they just kind of took it in stride. This one was a little different for them just because it's a little not normal, if you will, but they're also kind and friendly, and they all accept me and are encouraging. Let me think. As far as people outside of my friends and family, they give me interesting looks, but a lot of them are very encouraging and say, you know, I love your style, it looks beautiful. You remind me of what my mom used to wear when I was a kid, and I think that's pretty awesome. For example, I'm part of a group on Facebook called Buy Nothing. If you have one in your area, you should look it up, it's amazing. And that's where I got this lovely hat. A lady on there thought of me and gave it to me. So all in all, I haven't had any negative feedback, just some odd looks sometimes, I guess, but I'm okay with that. All right, next question and next hat. This one was given to me by a lovely lady at my daughter's school. Another one of my hats coming up is one of hers as well. It was from her grandma, and it's just been collecting dust, and she said it needed a home. So this is the lovely hat. It's so beautiful. It sounded like semi-sweet. Okay, Can you say that you have found your style, and what did it change in your life? Yes, I have found my style. My style before this was just kind of whatever was in fashion, whatever made sense, whatever was cute, I guess. It wasn't necessarily something that I was happy wearing. I don't know how to explain that. My clothes were there because I wore them, and that's just what they were. Now it's kind of fun getting dressed in the morning. It's almost like playing dress up, so that's kind of fun. What did it change in my life? It made me realize that how simple it is to put on a dress as opposed to picking out a pair of pants and a shirt, and you actually look so put together with one item, and so that's awesome in my books. That's what it's changed in my life. Okay. Next question. I found it. Where did it go? I keep losing it. Oh, okay, perfect. Where do you find your inspiration? Oh, inspiration. Okay. My inspiration comes from a lot of places. My grandmother that I mentioned earlier is very inspiring to me. She was a very elegant lady, very classy, very stylish. I actually have a lot of pictures of hers, so it's fun to be able to draw inspiration from that. I get inspired by Audrey Hepburn and all the other ladies I mentioned, as well as Pinterest is my best friend when it comes to putting on outfits. I also do have some of my Instagram people I follow that I draw inspiration from. Ida Van Munster is one of them. Miss Semi-Sweet actually is very stylish. And let me think, who else do I like to follow? Miss Victory Violet is a huge inspiration to me. She has the cutest styles and the cutest hair. So yeah, I will link all those people below if you want to check them out. They're my inspiration. Actually, first, before the next question, this hat was hand-me-down, if you will, to me from my grandma, or my great-grandma, and I just love it. It's so cute. It used to have a little veil, and unfortunately the veil is falling apart, but it's still adorable. So, there you go. All right, next question. Where do you find those unique clothes, and have you recreated a piece of clothing for yourself? Yes, all of that. So where I find my clothes, a little bit of everywhere. My favorite place is the Eclectic Contessa. She is my favorite. She is so amazing. She will help you out with anything you need. I will leave her link below because you guys should check her out. I find them at local thrift stores, vintage stores. I do like shopping at this one near me that has an actual booth of just clothing. I call it the closet because she always has amazing items. As far as making my own clothes, yes, I make a lot of them. I made this one, and I actually made this hat with its little flower design. And I love it because I can fit it to me. I can pick out what fabric I wear, I can pick out what style, and I can make it actually fit my body. So yes, I do make a lot of my clothes, but I do have a lot of ladies and people I shop from. So yes, that's my answer to that one. All right, next question and next hat. This one was my grandma's, and I just adore it. I feel like I should just pose. Okay, anyway. All right, next question. Do I wear vintage clothes every day? No. There are days when vintage just doesn't happen. Sometimes I am in my jeans and my t-shirt because I just have to, and that's okay. There are days where you can't be all put together, and that's not a bad thing. I do have some vintage swing trousers and shirts I like to wear on those days because then it still feels classy and elegant, but still kind of casual at the same time. Most days you will find me in my vintage items. So, next question. You have two beautiful girls. Do you think it changed the way they present themselves? They're still kind of young, so I don't know if it necessarily changes their way yet, but I hope to inspire them as they get older to search out for modesty, whether it's in a vintage item or just in general. So I hope that it does inspire them one day. I know that they find it fun and they enjoy the little dresses that we have found for them, and I know they do love dressing up in it, but as far as has it changed the way they present themselves, I don't know yet, but we will see. I'll keep you posted on that one. One more time. Hat is found at a vintage store. I picked it up, put it on, and fell in love with it. Wore it around the store the entire day. It was so much fun. So cute. This is what I like to call my Pan Am stewardess hat. I accidentally wore it to a flight museum, and here's the picture. Your hair is always on point. Oh, thank you. You have mastered the way to do it, spending only 5 to 10 minutes. That's when you decided to share your unique method with others. How is the YouTube going? Yes, thank you. YouTube is great. I love all of my followers. I love all of you. You guys are amazing. It's been fun sharing my creativity and my silliness and my hats and my outfits, and it's going great. The hair, I will have to admit, I am a hairstylist. I recently discovered that some of you guys didn't know that and were surprised and then understood why I know how to do some of these things. So I feel like I have an unfair advantage. Just kidding. Unfair advantage when it comes to hair. That, you know, I know how to do it. I went to school for it. But at the same time, it's nice because I can share my knowledge with you guys. So YouTube is going great. I feel like it's my creative outlet to share with others. So, and this hat I also found at an antique store. So.